Hello and welcome back to another episode of What Grows Joy. In this episode we are going to try and save you some money. It's in my comfort of my own home because I had to re-edit some bits I wasn't quite happy with. It is quite difficult to do a YouTube video and you're not happy with it and you re-edit and you do it, pain in the ass. But anyway, these were taken earlier, maybe a day or two ago, maybe slightly longer, but hope you enjoy this. So let me know what you think and hope you try this yourself. Bye for now. Your humble spud, and it costs anything between £5 to £30, depending on how many you buy. So to save you some money, the best thing to do is when you're digging up the shores of potato, keep a couple, and eventually it all kind of adds up. And let it dry, clean off the soil, let it dry, and then discard any bad potatoes which may be scabbed or holes in it. The good potatoes for seeding should be nice and firm, and after about a couple of weeks double check it again, make sure they're still firm. If they've gone soft, or if you then notice any kind of blemishes or new holes in it, discard them because they're not going to be any use to you. They might not last till the following year. If you've got any green potatoes like this, put it into a dark place. After 2 weeks it becomes your normal yellow spud. Obviously being green, it's poisonous. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that and it's perfectly healthy and firm, this has got a hole in it so I won't be using this, but if it's nice and healthy and firm, then why not use this as next year's potato seed. Another good thing to try and get seeds from is your tomatoes. So basically it's more there's numerous ways of harvesting tomato seeds, and you know yourself, people says just scoop the seeds out, put into a sieve, put in some water, and then let it dry out. One of the websites that I read upon is basically, first of all, fill your wee jar with some water like this, squish the tomato seeds into it and let it ferment between 5 and 7 days. And what you then get is most of the seeds, the good seeds, the viable seeds, should sink to the bottom and all the bad bits rises to the top. Now there's a sweet smell to this, it still has a tomatoey smell, and these should be ready. I mean, these have been sitting in here for about 5 days, so I'll give it another couple of days. Because it's more cooler now, it takes a slightly longer to ferment. So once it's fermented, see the seeds lying at the bottom, and all that jelly stuff coating the seeds has now all gone. So you can see now, this was taken a few days later. I've topped it with some more water, let the seeds settle at the bottom. You can make it out. Try and do that. There you go. Settle to the bottom. What I will now do is I will drain the water away carefully, and thereafter fill up with some more water and put in a solution of hydrogen peroxide. Here we have the seeds. It is most of the jelly has now fermented away. Fermentation is a way of removing some of the diseases surrounding the tomato seeds. However, just to be doubly sure, what I'm now doing is adding some water to it and adding a dash of hydrogen peroxide. Just about a third. This is actually strong as 12%. Generally I would use a 3% solution, but that's what I've got, so that's fine. Close that off. Now give it a good stir, a good shake.
Shaken, not stirred.
Shake for about a minute or two, and what you're doing to this is removing any small air pockets on the seeds. As you know, tomato seeds, if you look under a microscope, you see fine hairs, and these fine hairs traps the air pockets. So by shaking it, it removes the air pockets, and the hydrogen peroxide mixture kills off any residue of diseases and pathogens which may exist. So give it a good shake for a good minute or two and leave it standing for about 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, it's now been drained off, and basically what I've done is I've taken my wife's discarded tights, put it over a flower pot and used it as a sieve. So that's it there, as you can see. It's focused in. So once that's dried off a bit more, or drained off a bit more, I will then dry it off and put it into a suitable bag. So these are pak choi, no sorry, these are choy sum seeds. Pak choi, tatsui choys, their seed pods are all kind of generally the same. They produce these kind of needle-like pods, and to get access to them, you just kind of split it in the middle and they fall out. And there's two halves of this. All you have to do to get the other half is pinch the one end and peel it back, and that's how you get to the other side of the seed pods. Now if you've got a wee husk like that, just give a wee blow, and that removes the husks, and you can safely tidily put that into a wee bag. So here we have sweet corn that's been dried. It's kind of smaller ones which wasn't viable to use, so I basically dried it in my wee greenhouse, and I'll just pick these off. I'll take about 30 and then I'll discard the rest. In fact, I might just take more than that just in case. just in case there's failures in them. There you go. And this one that we use and buy often are garlic bulbs. Why not use this year's garlic bulbs? This is one I harvested in July. It's dried out. It still feels firm, so it's okay, and it was disease free. So what you then do is, if you've got a whole lot of them, try and break them up and keep the bigger cloves for planting out now. The pointy bit pointing upwards, and the roots obviously grows from the bottom base. Make sure when you're taking this off, take away the old root base. So the bigger the clove, the bigger a bulb you get for next year. So just break that off. If you get a wee base like that, just break it off. That comes off quite nicely, nice and clean. I'll probably use 1, 2, 3 and use it alone for cooking. Following year, in my allotment I found some poppy growing wild, kind of growing here and there, and that allowed it to seed, and it produced these lovely little salt shaking husk pods. Again, I shook it into a box, and just approximately half a dozen of those pods produce this amount of poppy seeds, which is way more than I need actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a wee little maybe 30 centimeters by a couple of meter length of my allotment to sow these poppy seeds. Quite nice to see a big row of them. So yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, so oh, one more thing. I've got sweet peas growing in my allotment. They're white with a slight pink tinge in them. Like any kind of pea family. They grow and form these yellow kind of seed pods. Again, once you harvest it, let it dry fully, and it should pop open quite nicely, producing these great wee seeds. So that's it, that's all about seeds. So hope you enjoyed that video. Try some yourself. Just to show you as well, I've built this out of recycled double glazing units, cut the glass, and basically it helps me at the moment, especially this time of year, is to dry any of the seed pods in, but during the spring and summertime I'll use it to germinate seeds. As you can see there, that's my Kelsey onions there, which was sown about 14 days ago, so they're coming on nicely. Once they get slightly bigger, I'll transplant those into slightly larger pots. Right, thanks for watching, and bye for now.